Welcome back to the podcast. This is Thanks for Your Concern, and you are with Ella.
And I'm Bernice.
I forgot my name for a second. Okay.
Yeah. What's going on? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It is a brisk morning. I've been getting up so early, and I feel like I'm just like slowly becoming like my mom or dad, you know, like the person who's like in bed by 10 and wakes up like 7, like, all right, let's get going. What's going on today? So love that energy for me. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little tired, but I am not in your vibe as of right now. My sleeping schedule has been but I'm trying to build better habits. It's coming together. It's all piecing together.
Are you in like, have you got all of your EDC customs taken care of? So you're on to like the next festy, or are you still in the grind mode?
I'm in grind mode. It's like a home stretch. It's like literally in 10 days. So I'm pulling it together. It's gonna be fine, but I just know like the next couple of days I just need to like really do things. And sometimes when I really have to do things, I get so unmotivated. I'm like, ugh, I have to do this. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean. It's like, I mean, there's probably like the part of your business where it's like there's only so much you can plan ahead because of like when orders come in and yada yada yada. So yeah, it's the home stretch, and then I want to say you're done, but like it's festival season, so this is like your Super Bowl basically.
My Super Bowl. I mean,
Per
no,
se.
it's no. Festival season's like just started, but something's got to give. We're restructuring. We're figuring it out.
Boom, more to come.
Yes.
All right, babes, are we ready to get into the episode?
Let's do it.
This episode is like, put me on mute. Were you silent or were you silenced?
The woman was, in fact, too shocked to speak. Okay. Yeah, there's been moments in life where I'm just like, oh, I got no thoughts. That one struck a chord. I'm pretty witty, I will say. I'm pretty sharp. I can usually, I'll come back. You know what I mean? Not a lot of things shock me, but some people can't.
Yeah, so a lot of hee ha ha fun funs, but like one that I was thought about immediately that I still think about all the time is when I had therapy with Mike. Mike was a grad school student at WSU, and they let me have free therapy. It was dope. But we were talking about like my inner monologue, and like I'm kind of like I speak profanity. I think we all know that. So sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a stupid bitch. Like, I can't believe my bitch ass would do this. You know, things like that used to be my old self talk. And I remember Mike was like, oh, are you a stupid bitch? And I was like, and he was like, you look like you're like ready to fight me. And it's like, you wouldn't allow me to say that to you. So why is it okay for you to say it to you? And I was gooped gagged. I was like, I'm going to sit with that. And I feel like I have never spoken to myself like that again because it just had something that clicked. But I was silent and I just sat with that for like, I want to say like days. Like I was dazed of being silent because I was like, I need to let that marinate in my little brain.
You were sad. Like, oh,
you got me.
No, therapy will really humble you for real. Like, yeah, that I remember when it was given to me that I had like an issue with control, and I was like, oh, what? Kayla, what do you mean? What do you mean I try to control all the outcomes of my life? That's news to me. Yeah. There's been other moments as well where the woman's been too shocked to speak. One recently I would say is when people reach out about the podcast and they know the players. They know the people that we're talking about, but I didn't know that they knew. Like at that time of my life where all these things like went down, I didn't really know these people. So I never knew that they knew my tea with all the players and contenders. So sometimes when I bring something up and they're like, "Hey, I can't believe you were like that man like had game," or like you were so caught up on that dude. I'm like, how do you know that?
I honestly, so someone like I mentioned like a fling or something on the podcast, and they're like, "Oh, are you talking about that person?" And I was like, "Ew, no, I would never swoop that low." I was like, "Is that what people are speculating?"
You know, I guess I do swoop that low. I to the flow. You know what I mean? No, I let it be known. I just hide off because I literally don't know what to say. Yeah, I was in the depths of hell. I own it. I don't know. I'm a lover girl.
I saw something that I don't see now.
Yeah. I see lots of things. I don't know what it is. If anybody could have love goggles, like the worst ones, it'd be me. Like, what did you see in that man? I don't know. I thought he was a good person. I thought he was something special, and it's literally like the most like disgusting, vile human being you've ever seen on the planet. But like, I don't know. I saw a little something.
It's the shit. It's like you give people the benefit of the doubt when you have a shared interest. I feel like it's like you're like they hang out with the same people that I hang out. I like their friends. Their friends seem cool. Of course, they must not suck. And it's like, oh well, look at that.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what it is because I think I'm doing the Lord's work over here. It happens to be every time where I'm like, men don't go for women they're not attracted to. And I try to explain this to somebody like this dude I was last seeing. I was like, "Oh, you wouldn't have come up to me if you weren't like physically attracted to me." And he sat and thought about that one. And he was like, "Yeah, you're right." And I was like, "Yeah." So then I sit there and I'm like, "Why do I do that? Why do I do that?" you know? Why do I let these medium ugly men come finagle their way into my life and be bloodsuckers? No more.
Yeah, I feel like one time I was kind of silenced just was like on mute was I was dating this guy and then like he sent me this like I really care about you. You're a really dope person, but I just realized I'm not ready for anything serious. And I'm like, why would you date someone who's interested in serious and was really upfront about that? Like I just get so quiet cuz I'm like this is so meh. Like I just feel like it's such a lame thing to do. It's like, bro, get your cards right before you go out and like and also this man pursued me. I feel like it'd be different if it was like not like I've turned him down multiple times and then it's like, oh, actually I don't want to date anybody. My startup's gonna take up a lot of my time. Should have left me fucking alone.
Tale as old as time. um, yeah, I can relate. I I don't know. I feel like maybe in theory they like the idea of it. I will say relationships do take a lot of time and like emotional effort. And I feel like a lot of men just not trying to do that, bro. And now that I'm kind of in a place where I'm like, ugh, I'm not trying to do that either. Like if someone came and pitched something to me right now, I'd be like, I'm just so busy with my things. you know?
Dude, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. But it just
But
always it just makes me so quiet because I like what do I respond to that? I feel like there's nothing I should say.
no, the secure response is okay, good riddance. Bye. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like something about that is like I completely understand that, but you're also allowed to be like low key angry because it's like I let you know where I was from the beginning. And I'm feeling like you kind of like this is the first you thought of this information. When did you start feeling this way? You know what I mean? Like, how
Yeah.
many interactions did we have where I thought we were on the same page, but we were no longer on the same page?
Yeah, and it's just like I mean, I just have a tough time sometimes where I'm like, do you think I just have hella time? Do you think I fucking have nothing else to do than to like get ready to go on dates with you? You know? Like I just like bitch. It drives me nuttos.
Yeah, yeah. I will say along these lines, I've been left speechless by men's audacity quite a bit. Okay, I mostly happens with like other people's friends, my own too. We'll get there, but I just remember one time, Ella was seeing somebody, and he had made it clear that they were exclusive, and then I caught him on a date with another girl, And what he told Ella was, "Oh yeah, I know we're exclusive, but I didn't think that mean I couldn't see other people, like I couldn't go on dates."
Yeah,
What?
specifically when I said I thought we were exclusive, he said, "Yes, we are. I didn't fuck her." And I was like, "Okay, and what was the plan?" And then that's when he was on mute because he literally was like, "I actually didn't think it through." And I was like, "Okay, so are you dumb or so we don't think any you just what?" And yeah, that was the end of the end. Like
Anytime I've asked a man, so what was the plan? They never have anything to say because there is no plan. See, I don't know how people navigate like that when they're just like, "Hey, see how it goes."
Dude, and I mean, I was just talking about this about how like if me and Berenice like got into like a sticky situation, it was not because of like lack of planning. Like we had a plan, the plan just didn't execute. You know, like it
Yeah.
just like if something if we had like a crazy night that no one was like, "How'd you guys get there?" I was like, you know what, we had a plan and the night just kind of went haywire, but it was
Yeah.
not because of us. But like other people don't have plans, and when people don't have plans, I'm like silent, staring, like,
What's going on in
well,
there? What's going
yeah.
on?
Because at least if you said, you know what, I messed up. I didn't think that was gonna go the way it went. You know, or I don't know. It's just like something where I'm just like, I want something, some like admission of guilt. Because when you say I actually didn't have a plan, it kind of like gives you an out of being like, well, I can't really blame you then because I guess you accidentally got here because you didn't think about it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been so speechless as to the time where a man brought me back to like where he was staying, who I thought I was seeing exclusively, and his ex-girlfriend, you could call her current girlfriend at the time, showed up and told him and like basically outed him for being in that room 2 days in a row before me. The woman was too shocked to speak. I'm telling you, I don't think I had a single actual thought. Like I think it was all just like interesting. Like never been in a situation before. I'm in really far away from my house right now. I got on Snapchat. I got on Snapchat, I got on TikTok, and I just made little videos. And I was just I don't know if I started disassociating. I had to call a friend. I had to call a friend to be like, what do I do? Because I've never been in this situation before.
Okay, bro. One time where I was just like, so me and Verity say we are very not usually a loss for words. We went over to a frat to watch Harry Potter. Okay, that was the plan. At some point, it's somebody's fucking birthday, so people are bringing out drinks. It's like a fucking Tuesday. They're bringing out drinks. They're like da da, and then they're like, "Oh, we should play Jenga." And like usually when you play this like dirty Jenga where people have written things on the Jenga, it's like chug for 3 seconds, yada yada yada. The first one Berenice pulls is take off 4 articles of clothing. And these guys look at us with a straight face because, like, literally, Berenice was like, "I'm literally not wearing 4 articles of clothing," and they were like, "You're not wearing socks? That can count as 2." And me and her were silent, like, you really want it? Like, is this a joke? This is a Tuesday. I'm not gonna get naked in this frat room right now. Like, what is this? And they're like, I guess you could pull another one, and acted like we weren't cool.
They tried to rag me up in that Jenga several times.
Yeah.
I will say that. Yeah, it was a little much. It was a little much at the time. I will say for the vibe. I was in a t-shirt and sweat. I really thought the pitch was to see Harry Potter. The pitch had always been
chill.
to see Harry Potter, and this was a whole setup. This wasn't just Harry Potter. Okay, we get there, they put on Harry Potter, and then they arrange us so it's like very much so like this double date situation. But what was weird about that situation is I had been talking to a man, but I didn't know that I had also made out with his roommate previously at like another party. So it was like extra weird because I was like in this shared frat room. Okay, there's bunk beds. And I'm with this man, and I made out with his roommate probably like a week before. And now he's bundling the 4 of us up, and like Ella is just being thrown at the roommate. And I'm like, I was extremely uncomfortable here.
Also, the roommate wasn't interested either.
No.
Like, we were mutually not interested. I'm not gonna, like, throw the roommate under the bus. He didn't seem like he wanted to do this either. And
3
so
out of 4 people uncomfortable.
And we were just, like, all sitting there, like, okay, like, I was like, I can leave if we want to leave. We just thought this was gonna be more of a chill vibe.
Yeah, that whole night was giving Predator. Actually, now that I think about it. Oops. Okay. Other times, men have also caught by speechless era. I've seen some of my friends get done dirty, and I think every time I'm speechless for them. One time, I remember one of our friends, I guess, was seeing this dude, and probably the following day, I think they might have been together that weekend. We see him at the bar, Stubblefields, with another girl. He's making out with this girl. They always do this. I don't know what's wrong with them, but whatever. And then our friend just starts crying, like profusely sobbing at the bar. And I was like, I don't know what's worse, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's worse to be shocked by what you're seeing or bawling at the club because of it, because I'd rather die than be seen crying about this other dude with another girl. I'd have to be excused.
I feel like we were like, we can leave, like, and no, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's totally
fine. And we're like, pull it together, girl. Like, you should not be seen here.
Literally, I was like, let's go. Like, there's like 3 other bars in this town. Like, we don't need to be here. It's like, no, I don't want to take you guys here. This is the best place to be tonight. Although those other places are dead, I'm not gonna let this ruin our fun. And I was like, holy shit.
A mess. I will say that at the moment, I'm too stunned to speak when my friends are done dirty, just because I'm like, how could you do this to a sweet girl? You know, but
Yes.
I will say that ends pretty quickly. Most of the time, if my friend's not with me, it's go time. If I see that motherfucker, I'm saying something.
Literally, it's on sight.
It's on sight. And I've done that several times of my friends when men do them dirty. I remember also one time, people are so schemy, mostly little boys in frat rooms. Oh my God, like, save yourselves. But I remember one of my friends was seeing this guy and they had hooked up a couple times. You know, the vibes were casual. And she may have gone on a date dash with like another person. The dynamics of the situation in fraternities is that men are not trying to be tied down. So then they'll act like they don't care when you hang out with their homies, right? But in reality, they do care. And he wrote something like super mean about her on like their Facebook group. Now, I don't understand in the age of social media how dumb these motherfuckers are that they don't think somebody's going to screenshot that and send it to the girl.
Yeah.
So it went straight back to my friend. I saw it and I was like, oh, damn, I see this man. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Next time I saw that man, my friend wasn't with me. I was like, are you stupid? Like, why would you do this to her? I'm coming for you. You know?
Yeah.
I will be out here getting your back. I recently saw another man at this place I was in who also did another one of my friends dirty. I came for him too. And you know what he had the audacity to do? To say, which one? When I brought up her name. And then say, oh, that was so long ago. Sorry, that was a year ago. That wasn't that long ago. Okay? And you did her dirty for months. The audacity.
Yeah, I've had some, like, you know, depending on, let me just say this. If you've done my friend dirty, we're never going to be cuckoo, kiki, homies, okay? And so I had a guy be like, oh, like, you know, we're cool, right? And I was like, no. And they're like, oh, well, you know, me and her have, like, squashed the beef. Like, you and me should be cool. And I was like, when I see a snake, it remains a snake. I don't care if it apologizes that it bit you, okay? I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to be cool with you. I don't think you're a good person. I think you're a piece of shit. So, no, I'm not going to fucking sit here and pretend like I think you're a nice person. No. I don't like you.
Yeah. And I will say nothing will silence a yapper more than being around somebody I don't fuck with, okay? I will talk to the fucking wall. As soon as I'm around a man that makes me uncomfortable, that has harmed my friend, Not a peep comes out of this mouth. Suddenly, I'm on mute. I have nothing to say to you, sir. I don't want to get to know you. I already know what you did. And I know you know what I did. And then they'll have the audacity to be like, I don't want to be painted as the bad guy. Then why are you acting like this?
It's like, we don't have paintbrushes, dude. We are historians, and we are basing this off of facts, okay? You don't want to be the bad
Yeah.
guy, then I'll be the bad guy. In a time that I was like, I think about a lot of moments when I was in standards. I don't know if you know what standards are. That's when you're in a sorority and you get in trouble with other teenage girls. They send you to standards because you break arbitrary rules. And I will say, I should have been sent to standards a lot, but I got sent for the wrong things. Every time I got sent to standards, it was fucking bullshit, okay? Me and Verity say we're breaking lots of rules that probably I should have been in trouble for, but I got sent for the stupidest offhand shit. I was like, oh my god, like, this justice system is so broken. But I remember one time I was in there, and they literally, this is the thing, is they told me, they're like, hey, we know that this is a bullshit accusation, but we have to follow up on it, and that's policy. What? No, it was literally some bullshit, literally didn't happen, whatever. And I was like, so what's going on? And then they said what was going on. They're like, hey, do you want to, like, say anything about this? And I was like, well, it is objectively untrue, so I'm gonna have to just say thanks for your concern. And they were all, actually, they laughed, and they were like, okay, well, you can go now. And I'm like,
Cool.
awesome. Happy we all took time out of our day to be here.
I still hope to find out one day who kept sending you to standards.
I still to this day think it was our house mom, because she did not fuck with me, because one of the weird rules that me and Berenice would get into a lot of trouble for was swearing on the first floor. You could swear in your bedroom, but you couldn't swear in, like, common areas of the house because it was a bad fucking look, okay? So I would be swearing my ass off, and I would hear from a fucking secret corridor, language, ladies, language, Ella, language. She would pop up out of fucking nowhere telling me to stop swearing, and I was like, god damn it, this bitch is sneaky. But if it wasn't her, praise. She was trying to keep me safe, so I hope it was her, but I bet it was these snitchy ass bitches, but I'm gonna let it go.
We're gonna let it go. Other instances that keep me and my mouth shut is when I see people fight, either friends fighting or like couples fighting. I'm like, can we not do this, guys?
Yeah.
Like, ooh, can't keep it under wraps. Can't keep it under wraps. Till mostly when it's like you're in a trip together.
Yeah.
Or like you just can't get away from those people. I'm like, I'm gonna go over there.
Literally.
I'll let you figure it out.
Like, hey, can we just, like, for like 2 days, and then you guys can go back to fighting in like 3 days when I'm not here.
It makes it real uncomfortable. Makes the vibe real uncomfortable. And mostly when you know one of them is in the wrong. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, girl, you might not want to say that. Shh. Less is more.
Sometimes, have you ever had it, like, where a friend tells you something that their like partner said, and you're like, ooh, hate to agree with them, but they might be onto something. I was like silent, like, oh my god, can you believe he said that to me? And I was like, yeah, I kind of do. But I was like, I want to support you, but like, I also don't. I'm also gonna say his feelings are valid there. He does have some point.
Yeah. There's been other times where I wish I would have been silent. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No response was needed at the time.
Sometimes people shock me so much I start word vomiting, and I just wish I would have just taken 30 seconds to think before I went crazy. But it's just like, I was so shocked. I was the opposite of silenced. I was like, I have to say something now. But yeah, I wish I was quiet.
Yeah, sometimes this actually happens. I sometimes project. I'll be like, did you in this situation, did you do this? And then I have to retract my statement and be like, you know what? I shouldn't have said shit. This is your life. You do what's best for you. Live it up. Yeah. Sometimes silence is key. I will say sometimes when I wish other people would remain silent, um, because they have no filter. It's like, well, there's different ways. It's called negging and dating, but women do this too when they give like backhanded compliments. And I was like, why did you have to say anything at all about this that you know nothing about to people that don't even like you? Less is more. Okay?
Yeah, if you don't have a nice thing to say, then don't say it at all.
Yeah. And I've been, you know, I've been seeing that a lot. I've been seeing that a lot where I'm like, oof, that comment didn't need to be said because now we're little haters.
Dude, honestly, I live your life. I honestly, I feel like I'm thankful that I can disconnect from inserting myself in other people's lives because literally, it's all them. They're gonna have to deal with the consequences of their actions. So unless they're asking for
Yeah.
if they're telling me, if they're excited about something, and maybe I think it's not the best choice, who gives a fuck? I'll just be excited for them. I might just throw in a little bit. Have you thought about this? But I'm not gonna say that's the worst idea you've ever had.
Also, just comments that are like a little bit tone deaf on like the time. Some people really want to put their 2 cents on situations that don't apply to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just at all. And sometimes I'm like, oh, that's a really interesting point of view for somebody that won't get affected by any of these changes. I mean, seeing that a lot with like political stuff and like voting for Biden or whatever, because obviously, like, he's not, you know, doing a great job and we're kind of in the depths of hell right now. But, you know, and sometimes like a man will tell me that. And he's like, well, it doesn't really affect me. And I'm like, yeah, that's literally what privilege is.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
also, I just feel like it's really easy when you're not the person to be like, "Oh, you should have said something," you know. But it's like, oh my god, well, considering like you weren't there and you had nothing to lose, so of course you think I should have said something. But it's like for me, I was worried about my job and hence being homeless essentially. So maybe I shut the fuck up when I should have said something. But it's just like in the moment, I did not feel safe to say something. And you know, people shouldn't be judged for that. It's like, you know, sometimes you're put on mute because you're like scared about the consequences.
You just don't know how to react.
Yeah.
I do give people some grace for silence. It's better than coming at me. I will say that. I've had times where I'd rather get ghosted than have like a man say something so like hurtful.
Yeah.
You know, silence is a good enough response for me. Sometimes it's fine.
Yeah, you know, sometimes some people's feedback is fucking bullshit and then it sits and simmers in your brain for so long, you know? Like I just remember like being like this guy being like, "Well, you're not really serious." And I'm like, I don't know. I lived with that for like a year and a half. Being like, "Oh my god, people don't think I'm a serious person." Ah! And then, you know, so many times like this isn't X, but like so many times they've profusely apologized because they're like, "I don't know why the fuck I said that."
Yeah, I've had that same experience where I'm like, oof, if he could just have not said these 2 things that just triggered me so much, we were all going to get to the same conclusion without those 2 little things.
Yeah, just the
So,
unnecessary things that you're like, "Oh man, that's gonna live with me for a hot minute."
yeah, yeah. So maybe less is more. Okay, okay, that's all I got.
That's all I got, baby. Let us know on Instagram, TikTok, whatevers. Anytime that you've just been so gagged and gooped that you were silent, make sure that you
Yeah.
subscribe to us and like and review and send it to a friend. You can find us on social media. Thanks, number 4, your concern. I'm at Ella L. Tudor.
And I'm at Bernice Diaz M.
Bye.
Bye.